Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the pre-market prep session. We're back. Your boy has served his civic duty, right? Fulfilled his civic duty and spent all day in jury duty yesterday. Managed to avoid, getting called in. I got dismissed from what would have been a 7-day trial that I had absolutely no interest in being a part of. So we're out, we're good, we're back on schedule, and I'm happy to be here to get into what we have going on today on this fine day. The market has been up, down, right, all over the place. And this is the time when patience is needed the most, when planning is needed the most, when a system is needed the most. Otherwise, it's very easy to get torn up out here, right? This is a time in markets that resets expectations, that makes sure that you are either educated and winning and minimizing losses, or you are, undisciplined and uneducated and blowing up accounts consistently, left and right and left and right. And the little things are what make the difference. So being here for these sessions, understanding what news is impacting what we have going on, understanding what the actual root cause of something was versus what some writer who's never looked at a chart before tells you what it is, right? Knowing the technical reasons, meaning the chart-based reasons behind what's going on, is very important. Right. So I'm happy to be here and aim at, doing what we want to do each and every morning when we're here, and that's get 1% better. We don't have to do anything crazy, set the bar super high, because that causes us to make no progress. Right. You just want to make a little bit of progress each and every day at the minimum. Some days you have huge breakthroughs, paradigm shifting realizations, and other days you're just like, I got up. I put in 10 minutes here, put in 15 minutes here, right? Learn this, did this one thing right, and then you go to sleep and you're a little bit further ahead of where you were the previous day. But as we are 8 days into the 8th month of the year, I'm super grateful to be here with, the best community in the world when it comes to this stuff, and that's the Stock Options Made Easy community. I'm excited to get into what we have going on today. So without further ado, we always move with intention. If you don't move with intention, you can't replicate it. So make sure you throw your one in the chat, whether you're watching live or via replay, signifying your intention to get 1% better. You might say, Adam, I don't like to stand out. I don't want to do this. I don't want people to see me. I don't want people to know I'm here. I don't want you to know I'm here. This isn't for me. This isn't for people, right? You're doing this for yourself. Yeah, there are times in life to be selfish, and this dispensation in time is one of those, right? The confession that I threw up on Facebook this morning, it's very important, right? More so now than ever, to really make sure that you are paying attention to yourself, putting yourself first, not saying yes to everyone else or thinking about what everyone else is thinking, because at the end of the day, that does not help you close the gap between where you are and where you want to be, right? So make sure that you do this for yourself, that you're public with your intentions for yourself, right? When you say, I'm going to set out to do this thing, you're a lot more likely to hold yourself to it. I just realized my power cord wasn't hooked up, so now I'm going to do this. But you're a whole lot more likely to hold yourself to it. If you never say, oh, I intend to do this, then do you ever really actually intend to do it, right? Do you even intend to get 1% better? You can't kind of be in the background and expect background results, right? A lot of people want to um, kind of hang in the back and, oh, well, I don't really want to do this. Well, you're going to get results, hang in the back results, right? You'll see what's possible without experiencing for yourself what's possible. And that's not what anybody wants, right? We want to be able to experience this for ourselves, and not only experience it, but replicate it, right? Replicate it day in and day out, and compound that over time, and also be able to teach it and pass that on to our kids, because that's our real legacy, right? You can't take any dollars that you make here with you, but you can pass down trauma, right? You can pass down lack. So let's pass down a mindset that is all about traversing trauma and overcoming it, being victorious. You versus you, not paying attention to comparison, all that good stuff, right? Abilities and ways and systems to multiply money. That's what you want to pass down, right, to the next generation. Because at the end of the day, if they don't know what to do with it, they'll do like that guy that was trending on the internet that threw all of his money into, I don't know, something for earnings, and it just tanked, and he lost. It was like a $500,000 portfolio that he was passed down from his grandma. And like this idiot just YOLOs it. And he said he doesn't need the money. You might not, but the fact that you're like, grandma probably worked really hard to put that together, and then you just threw it away on a YOLO is pretty ridiculous, right? So mindset, that's the important legacy to bequeath, right? The important part of the inheritance. So make sure you work on that daily, and that you set your intention publicly to do so we can all hold each other accountable and get better. Now, our top news here today, Stuck in space. What goes up must come down unless it's a Boeing Starliner. The spacecraft has faced helium leaks for propulsion and thruster issues for deorbiting since flying to the International Space Station in June, stranding astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams in the far reaches of the thermosphere. That's disconcerting. The mission to the ISS was supposed to only last 8 days, but 2 months have already passed, and now there's talk of the situation lasting until early 2025. Sheesh. Snapshot, there have been disagreements about the data and potential risks tied to Starliner amid investigations that are still ongoing. While Boeing has vouched for the craft, NASA leadership is still debating whether the vehicle can be deemed safe to return to Earth. The agency is now weighing a plan to bring back the astronauts via Boeing rival SpaceX, which has delivered food and supplies to the station, including extra clothes for Wilmore and Williams. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's just such low hanging fruit that I'm gonna bypass the Boeing joke. But like we made that earlier when they decided to take the Starliner up. It's like at this point, why the heck are we trusting anything to Boeing? I get it, like all these planes nowadays are Boeing, and I'm still gonna fly. I'm still gonna do what I need to do to get where I need to go. But it's like if there is an alternative, I'm going to take it. I feel like NASA and these other, you know, industries, these other entities really want to prove to SpaceX that SpaceX isn't the only viable option. But the truth is, SpaceX is the only viable option, right? For consistent rocket travel. They're the only ones, right? Musk, as crazy as he is, has monopolized it. That's why he's again very crazy and just out of pocket pretty much all the time. But he's a forward looking genius in that he monopolizes things that we need for the future, right? And he focuses on those, and one of those is SpaceX and space travel. So they're going to need a SpaceX rocket probably to get back, and Boeing is just the last company that I would trust to do this. Like they've just proven that the fact that they are so lackadaisical when it comes to transport that like literally puts everyone's lives on the line every single time is crazy to me. The coming weeks will be critical as the decision will have to be made whether to include two empty seats on the next SpaceX mission, whose launch has been pushed to September and has a return date of February 2025. Quote, if NASA decides to change the mission, we will take the actions necessary to configure Starliner for an uncrewed return, Boeing responded in a statement. However, it would be the latest in a series of reputation problems for the company. 737 MAX jet crashes, door plug blowout, and guilty pleas, right? And also all of the witnesses dying, literally dying. That will need to be resolved by new CEO Kelly Ortberg, who starts in his role today. Good luck, Kelly. Good luck to you, sir, because that seems like the worst job to take over right now. Out of this world, NASA's Commercial Crew Program was structured as a multi-tiered competition to get private sector companies to produce the most cost-effective, innovative, and safe way to get to the ISS, the International Space Station. While SpaceX has already sent 9 manned missions to the ISS with its Crew Dragon capsule, Boeing has so far incurred $1.4 billion in accounting losses for its program, as well as many issues and delays during flight testing and manufacturing. If Boeing faces more trouble certifying the Starliner, it would deal a big blow to the ambitions of the aerospace giant, whose resume goes back to the Apollo moon missions. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is a big blow, but at this point, it's kind of like the bed of a thousand nails, right? Where you don't even start to recognize these issues with Boeing because there's just so many. That goes back to like Trump's first election versus Hillary. Hillary, everybody was concerned about the emails. With Trump, there were so many different things to be concerned about that you kind of like it all got lost in the matrix. That's the same thing with Boeing, right? After a while, it's just kind of like this is what we expect. Does this even serve to further affect stock price? Probably not, right? Mega write down in media news, Warner Bros. Discovery tumbled 10.5% after hours on Wednesday as it posted an almost $10 billion loss for Q2. It was mainly due to a massive write down of the value of its cable networks, reflecting how streaming has eroded the traditional cable TV business, as well as softness in the U.S. ad market and uncertainty related to affiliate and sports rights renewals. Quote, am I disappointed about the impairment? Yes, CFO Gunnar Weidenfels declared. Quote, there's been talk about recovery in TV a year and a half ago. It hasn't really happened. Yeah, I never intend to get cable. I don't have cable. I don't intend to get cable ever. Um, so they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out or die. There's only two options, right? You figure it out or you get left in the past. So Warner Bros. Discovery, go ahead and kick that into gear, right? Kick it into gear. You've got plenty of content. You've got, a ton of data. You've got the raw materials. It's just important to institute the correct mindset and system in order to harvest them. Same thing in markets, right? You can have everything you need in order to succeed, all the raw materials, but if you don't know how to put them together, or you don't know how to arrange them, they're not of much use to you, right? And you find yourself continuously falling behind here. Consumer news, scan to enter, cracking down on membership sharing. Costco is setting up devices at store entrances to discourage non-members from shopping at its locations. Quote, once deployed prior to entering, all members must scan their physical or digital membership card, the company said in a press release. Guests must also be accompanied by a valid member for entry. The move comes soon after the retailer hiked its membership fees for the first time in 7 years, while its low prices continue to attract shoppers, with the latest monthly sales rising 7.1%. Cost shares are up 23% year to date. Yeah, we go to Sam's Club, and I think that might have been what they were setting up at Sam's Club. I'm not sure on the way out, or maybe it was just a big scanner to, I don't know, but they were setting up something that looked like some type of like big, uh, like doorway, but it was huge, and there were like three of them on the way out on the exit. So, I don't know if this has anything to do with that, but I thought they already checked your Costco membership card as you went in. I guess there have been people illegally migrating into Costco. Is that a thing? Maybe. I feel like you have to scan everywhere, right? Even in order to check out. So I don't know how they do so. Or maybe people are using other people's membership cards. I don't know. I'm not sure, but Costco cracking down regardless. Netflix cracking down on password sharing, Disney cracking down, Costco cracking down, right? Hold those passwords close. Outlook nearly done. The spot component of the global carry basket would suggest that 75% of carry trades have been removed. JP Morgan strategist wrote in a fresh research note. Much of the market volatility over the past week is said to have emanated in Japan, where a carry trade based on the yen went sour for all my Forex people, as the Bank of Japan raised rates during the same week as the Fed signaled its intention to cut. Quote, the clock is still ticking for the G10 carry. The analyst noted, describing another carry trade that involves borrowing at low rates to invest in higher yielding assets elsewhere. It was also revealed that Warren Buffett like currently owns, I think it was more like T-bills than the Fed. So crazy times we're living in. Today's market's looking like a mixed bag. In Asia, Japan down 0.7%, Hong Kong up 0.1, China flat, India down 0.7, London down 1.2%, Paris down 1.2%, Frankfurt down 0.8, the Dow down 0.3, S&P down 0.1, Nasdaq flat, crude oil down 0.1%, gold up 0.4, Bitcoin up 0.2% to 57,373. Jobs claims data here this morning at 8:30 a.m. came out. We've also got a few members of the Fed. We've got Barkin speaking at 3 p.m. The knock on wood, the market normally doesn't really care what he has to say. So I doubt that has any big, impactful, meaningful effect. It looks like we did get a push up here once we got the data, right? That employment data here this morning, those jobless claims. So that would lead me to believe that we probably got some bullish jobless data. So we'll see if that's enough to kind of pull us out of this zone that we've been rejecting really for the past 2 days, and managing ourselves quite well given the volatility that's gone on. I mean, each day it's been like we open low, we push up, the push doesn't hold, we come back down. Same thing, right? We did that Monday, we did that Tuesday, we did it yesterday, and we pushed all the way back down to the previous day's low, right? After pushing, breaking that high. So this has been, just up, down, chop, 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 chop. And you can't, I talked about this too, again, last week, right? I said, hey, we're in a zone where we could just ping pong, right? Literally just ping pong between these levels, and that's really what we've been doing is just getting stuck down here. And time will tell whether this price action is that of accumulation or distribution. Thus far, it's been a lot of shorter term bearish volume coming in, and then some longer term like bullish volume in some spots, but uh, you know, people are hedging themselves for the downside for the short term still this week, next week. There's a lot of like shorter term trading going on where we just pop to a certain level, we reject that level, and people will day trade that intraday just using lottos. So it's important to keep your eyes open, check, and make sure you know what has relative strength, what's pushing, what is moving with consistent volume, right? And then taking advantage of those. And if you don't know what those are, right, what those stocks are, when they get in, when they get out, all that good stuff, make sure you email me, Adam@adamhollandeducates.com with the subject line trade. Let's get you educated. Let's get you moving and shaking in markets and out of this, what is it, purgatory, where you're kind of just like taking random stabs at stuff. You have no idea what you're doing. And then you get this boom and bust cycle, right? Just like the market this week, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's your account. Up, down, up, down, up, down, right? It's all about the little things when it comes to consistency over time and just making sure that you understand the patience that's involved, right? This isn't this it's such a big game of you versus you that the people that have like that weak internal constitution can struggle, but this is a game that can help you so much when it comes to bettering yourself, right? Bettering yourself, managing your emotions, sticking to what you say you're going to stick to, right? This isn't the time to run. This isn't the time to back up, right? There's adversity that God lets us go through because it's necessary for us to go through that to become the next version of ourselves, right? It's important that a part of you dies, right? A portion of you is left behind. Stop holding on to what's no longer meant for you because you don't have the capacity or the room to hold on to what is, right? When you're still holding on to all this stuff that's just not you anymore, right? It's just not you. In terms of what else is happening, we'll finish up here with our rapid fire stock news rundown. Trump, U.S. should fill up strategic petroleum reserve immediately. Boeing, ticker BA, doesn't know who reinstalled 737 door plug incorrectly. I'm sure not. And if they did, they probably put him 6 feet under already. Disney falls as analysts weigh weaker parks results, Hulu deal costs, travel slump, Airbnb share losses accelerate on soft outlook. I guess Airbnb had earnings. I actually believe yesterday I had an alert go off for them. Yeah, look at them dipping all the way back down to that. Was that 115 area on Airbnb? Firing a nice weekly bear flag. Um, and at this point, they've already hit, their downside price targets. But JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon still sees 35 to 40% chance of soft landing. Hint, hint. Everybody's just throwing hints at Powell. Like, hey, if you move now, we could still have a soft landing. If you don't, we're screwed. Robinhood Markets, ticker Hood, rises after Q2 earnings top expectations. Don't doubt that at all, right? Everybody's trying to get back in markets now after they see the incredible tear we've been on this year. And we've still got time left, right? We still got opportunity left. If you haven't been consistently taking advantage of, the bounty that the market has had to offer this year, there's still time for you to do that, right? 1000% still time, and it's still something that you can do, but it takes you committing to yourself and really committing to your ideals. What do you value more, your excuses or the results that you are chasing, right? If you value more your excuses more, you'll hold on to them more, right? But if you value that vision that you have for yourself, which is why you have to have a big, clear, distinct vision, then you'll get over those excuses, right? You'll do whatever you need to do in order to get things done. And that's what we do in the Stock Options Made Easy community. Now, mortgage refinancing fires up as borrowing rates hit lowest in a year. Shopify soars as gross merchandise volume tops estimates. Tropical storm Debbie makes second landfall in South Carolina. And the report Intel passed on investing in OpenAI in 2017/2018. I'm not shocked, right? I'm not shocked that that dinosaur passed on something like it. It's supposed to scan your card so you don't have to show your receipt when you leave at Sam's. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate that. That's what I was figuring. I was like, this because it was at the exit. So it didn't make sense that it would have, identified people walking in. So yeah, thank you for confirming that. And I'm excited for that because then that means it's even easier to get in and get out. With all my amazing Sam's goodies. That's how you know you're getting old too. When you go to Sam's, you're like, man, this is gonna be fun, as opposed to like it used to be like, yeah, let's go out, we get a table now. I'm like, let's go to Sands. Let me see what they got there. They have these seasonal this, right? But I am mad at it, man. We're here to get older. We're here to learn. We're here to live and soak every little bit of life that we got out of this time that we have here on this earth. So let's do exactly that today, right? Stay true to yourself. be selfish with your time, be selfish with your energy, and be absolutely relentless when it comes to closing the gap between where you are and where you want to be. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow morning for our last pre-market prep session of the week. Have a good one. Peace.